College of late after playing in the World Juniors for Slovakia. Oscar Hemming comes out. He's on a line with James Hagans for the first time. Here is Hagans. Sets up Manetian on his offhand, and he plays it down for Kostadinsky, another Bruins draft pick. Tried to center up. Good work by Letourneau, who's still out there from that first shift. On there with Hagans and Hemming. Here is Manetian. Plays it down for Oscar Hemming. Playing in his fifth game as a member of Boston College since joining the Eagles in December. Right in front, Gasso, little backhand pass looking for Hagans, who was open. Really nice work. Eagles have been in here forever. Here's Hemming's shot. That got deflected. Ends up behind where James Hagans picks it up. Plays it up top. Now it's Gasso right in the middle. Turns a shot, got deflected up high. Oscar Hemming is right back to it. I mean, this has got to be close to, 65, 70 seconds on this shift here. That goes! That's what happens! BC in the offensive zone forever. Manetian Friday when the Eagles scored first, and then it felt like Providence just immediately answered. New Hampshire does the same thing as Nick Ring scores his 10th career power play goal. And a 1-1 hockey game, and boy, did they need that on the power play. Just 2 for 19 over the last 7 games.
We're talking about UNH struggling to find some offense. It's good for them as well, and the Wildcats and Mike Souza to get them that response and get that confidence here on the road in Chestnut Hill.
Kept in by Radovojevic, and Hagans tries to center up. There were a couple of UNH bodies in the way as he was looking to get it to Oscar Hemming. Ryan McPherson along the wall. Boston College back on it now with Radovojevic. Here comes Lucas Gustafsson.
Early on to build this lead on the power play.
Dean Letourneau with his 12th goal this season, his 5th power play goal. And Boston College takes a 2-1 lead, so a lot of activity early in this game. The Eagles scoring first on the Gasso tip. New Hampshire answering just 1 minute and 17 seconds later on the power play.
And then Boston College able to go on the power play. They get their sequence right back, and they pick up a goal. So if you're in the offensive zone, at this rate, you're going to find the back of the net.
Nick Ring comes around. It was stopped at the blue line, and Oscar Hemming and Will Moore both forced it to center. Pass back for Cloutier. He decides to cover it up.
Some of the top teams here in Hockey East that they're going to have to get some results from, especially with the Beanpot coming up as well.
Quality win bonus of playing those top teams as Hagans gets crunched into the wall and then kind of helped return the favor as he continued to get tied up with Alex Carr. Here comes Lavins, leaves it behind for Oliver. His shot was blocked by Nolan Joyce.
So a couple of big blocks here for the Wildcats, leading to opportunities the other way.
Going back to that graphic too, obviously some of that's going to continue to move, right? Northeastern's just inside the top 25 right now. Maine's on the outside. They could flip in due time as Chauvette makes the save against Oscar Hemming.
Hagans closing in.
Big hit at center. Boy, these two teams throwing the bodies around. Turned over for Letourneau. Dean Letourneau lost the handle. Joyce follows it up, though, and Letourneau's back on it now towards the net. And Chauvette just got a piece of it. May have hit the side of the net as well. Active first period here at Conti Forum. That settles for Newcomb. Off of Nolan Joyce. Newcomb's shot is stopped by Cloutier.
Can hear that off the pads up here. That was such a strong shot by Newcomb.
As the crowd has filled in, here's Oscar Hemming. Projected first-round pick in the upcoming NHL draft, Oscar Hemming. James Hagans reaching back for it. Radovojevic, who's out there with Drew Fortescue.
But you mentioned Hemming. Just a couple of plays already. You see him setting up his teammates. He's going back on the defensive end, poking those passing lanes and creating turnovers. So you like to see him play both sides.
Hampshire again loses just a challenge, or timeout, I should say. If they were to challenge again, then it would become a potential penalty situation. So we play on here. Here's DeHaro. Wow, did that not go in? It hit the post. Then a save by Cloutier. What a shot from DeHaro from the outside. They may have to take a peek at that and make sure that automatic qualifiers winning conference championships. And then the cut line continues to move up. 4:52 remaining in the first period. Radovojevic will start the rush for BC. Hagen's pass for Hemming was a little bit high. Here's Gasso, flips it forward. Hagen's had to get tagged up. He does. Rolling puck. And a really nice job there as Hemming was trying to get in. Morgan Winters prevented him from getting into the slot. Hagen's now, little fake, still on it. Hagen's coming all the way around, looking to set up. He does, and the chance by Hemming got blocked to the corner. Hemming once more, plays it on for Fortescue, and now Radovojevic, touch pass Hagens. He's looking to get it forward. Hagens still pushing with it. Puck still available here. And finally, New Hampshire skates it out with Brennan Fitzgerald. Uses the wall to get it for Nick Ring.
Yeah, you mentioned Eric Gagnon was excellent there on the defensive end to break up that chance. Hagens, 1, 2, 3 passes. They're moving this defense in the openings that they need to find.
Up top for Gustafsson now. Plays it over for Will Vogt. Some pressure from DeHaro. There's Dean Letourneau down low. 56 seconds on the power play. It'll wrap over should the Eagles not score. Kept in by Gustafsson. Plays it right in front for Letourneau. Just missed him on the pass. Letourneau off the wall, has help on the opposite side, couldn't get the pass through, as again it's DeHaro, but a nice play by Sondrial to break it up. Letourneau once again, 17 seconds to go in the period. Letourneau for Vogt, has Gustafsson up top, comes down low, that hit the post, rebound was available for Hemming, then he plays it off the back of Chauvette, and it somehow stays out. Gustafsson again, over for Vogt, down low Letourneau, final seconds, gotta go, and that's the period. Wow.
And then DeHaro's also going to clear him out here on the post shot, and then right here on the follow from Hemming. Just couldn't get it. Right there's where Chauvette tucks that glove.
Gasso has been very good at the faceoff dot throughout his whole career. Early in his career as a wing, kind of coming over at times, playing more center, more faceoff as he's gotten older. Looking to flip it forward for Hagens. So you got Hagens, you got the 17-year-old Hemming, and Gasso on this forward grouping for Boston College. As Greg Brown said to us this week, it's almost like the beginning of the season all over again, right? As you try to figure out these lines with some new pieces. Here's Hemming, got space, plays it across Manetian. Pass was maybe a touch behind him and he couldn't get it on goal. Nice setup though by Oscar Hemming. Here's James Hagens. Oliver the closest to him. As Hagens walking across the blue line. Got knocked down by Leclerc. Hemming fires! That hit the crossbar. It goes up out of
Even though he's dragged down, finds that pass back behind, and then just that means something later in February and later in March.
Oliver got crunched in by James Hagens. I think you're definitely seeing Hagens. First, let's watch the turnover. It was nearly there. Bobbling puck for Hemming. Marty Lavins does enough to force it out. Seen Hagens throw his body around a little bit more as he's continued into this sophomore season. Set up play. Lavins, a kick save by Cloutier. Another one for the outside. Carr up high, and Cloutier goes airborne. Then Leclerc scores. They got 3 looks at it. Cloutier made 2.
Now playing with some momentum and generating some great offensive opportunities.
Oscar Hemming now. Well, Fortescue kind of fanned on the pass, couldn't get it out. Still working forward though for Hagens. Hagens makes a nice move and his shot missed wide. James Hagens can really create. Bobbling puck. Hopped up in the air before Hemming got to it in the corner. Sam Oliver pushes it along. Little reset behind the net, and Oliver. Plays a backhand across. Leclerc coming through the middle. Got some space. Nice little move on a backhand. But Fortescue got a stick in.
Back to your point, that it creates confidence, right? Now Leclerc playing confidently in that offensive zone. He can make a move like that and believe that he can, find a goal or find a pass.
Leclerc, a guy with 28 points each of the last. With his second point of the game, the goal earlier on the power play, and now the setup there for Sondriel. He continues his magical sophomore season with Boston College. And the Eagles have the lead again 3-2 as we come up on the halfway mark of the hockey game.
Well, sometimes they say, shoot not to score, but to generate a rebound and try to create a chance. That time it was shoot it across to see what happens and able to find the stick there.
Gasso back and on, but one of the bigger revelations in the first half was Sondriel making a similar sophomore jump to that of Letourneau as that shot missed wide off a face-off win. Again, it was DeHaro for New Hampshire. 7th goal of the year for Jake Sondriel, and up to 20 points now on the season after last year in his freshman year. Just 2 goals and 6 points coming out of the USHL. Bobbling puck finds its way to Joyce. From the outside, it was blocked.
Well, Eagles just haven't forced their offense. Joyce that time sees it. Opportunity to reset, gets the Eagles right back into the offensive zone.
Here comes Hemming. BC has to tag up.
Now here in the seconds, congested and making it a little bit more difficult.
Gustafson plays it over for Hemming. Try to backhand it around, but it was broken up. And look at Hemming go back and get the puck. Excellent job by Oscar Hemming staying with it. And now James Higgins flips it for Hemming. UNH stayed with that well with their 4th line. Jason Seedham was the one to break it up. Now Skraskins plays it over for DeHaro from the outside. Secured by Luca Cloutier. 5:37 to go in the second. And Higgins and Skraskins. McDonald was chased from the faceoff. Still won by New Hampshire, and a bobbling puck ends up behind the net. Hemming, nice touch pass. You definitely see it with Hemming, right, in some small moments. Only his 5th game of college hockey. It's there. Gasso tried to center up. Hemming was Fortescue was the trailer as it hit his skate before it got to him. Especially if Jacob Newcomb.
Especially if he can combine here with Higgins. Those two right now, they've had a couple of sequences.
From the outside, a lot of traffic, but Cloutier does secure it. Nick Ring couldn't find anyone on the backside. Eagles break out with numbers 3-on-2. Final 15 seconds of the period. Gasso is stopped by Chauvette. Got to have that mental clock of knowing exactly how much time you have. The Eagles had a chance. Chauvette with the save and keeps it 3-2 in favor of Boston. And a Bruins night. Letourneau has scored. Higgins has scored. BC is 5-0 this year when both James Higgins and Dean Letourneau have scored. And it's 4-2. Boston College leads. And right on the heels of the penalty kill. So a major momentum swinger early in this 3rd period.
And now Letourneau and Higgins with multiple points here today as well. And just shows you when they're going, this Boston College team is going to be difficult to slow down. Wildcats had probably their best power play. I know they didn't score on it, but had great chances on that sequence.
Oscar Hemming lost his footing and he draws the penalty. So boy, did the momentum
Boston College, 7 total shots in the first 2.
So Reed Kahn called for kneeing was the penalty.
Sometimes you see the knee really pop out and try to grab the player. That one maybe not as intentional as sometimes, but still got a piece.
Good start to the penalty kill for New Hampshire. BC up 4-2. As Gustafson comes in, it's Will Vogt. Plays it down for Gustafson. Dean Letourneau now. And Oscar Hemming getting power play time. Sondriel out there as well. I'd say a second power play unit, but the way it's structured right now, it really feels pretty balanced between the two groups. And that's what depth can do.
Not a bad problem for Greg Brown and this Boston College coach.
Gasso plays it back down. Will Scahan pushed it along, then lost his footing. Oscar Hemming gets a hit in. Gasso takes it off the wall well. Back for Hemming, and he fires, and his shot is blocked by Philbrick. Hemming backing away, still got quite a bit of power on that delivery towards the net. Hagen circling, back for Will Scahan. Plays it down for Hemming. Got his stick lifted on the way through. James Hagens now. Plays it down for Gasso. Another long shift here in the offensive zone for BC. Remember, that's how this game started way back when the Eagles scored early, just a minute 39 into this game off of a long shift. Hagens for Hemming again, broken up. And Nick Ring skates it out for New Hampshire.
Yeah, at times it looks like 5-on-5. BC's on a power
New Hampshire with some good pushback here after the Eagles had it in their end for a long time. Alex Carr was looking for Leclerc. It was broken up by Hemming and couldn't quite find the puck at first. Hagen's pass hit a skate.
Well, we talked about how important faceoffs will be here in the third period. Eagles winning that battle 6-4. Wildcats had pulled away a little bit after the second period, but Boston College maintaining possession here in the third with the lead.
Hagen's got bumped. Here is Gasso moving through, plays it over Hagens, rips a shot up high. Gasso was open in the slot, but he didn't have his stick to follow up on the rebound.
He still kicked it over to Hagens, who still had a quality chance on.
Radivojevic comes over. Here's Hagens, got bumped a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's got to be a sinking feeling. A wide open rebound in the slot, nothing you can do without a stick. Fortescue for Radivojevic. Plays it over Gasso. Got a stick that time, and he missed it high. Follow-up spinning chance by Fortescue at a save Chevette. That line has created some chances. And now it's whistled down for offside. 7:18 belongs to James Hagens.
Wildcats, you think if you could get one.
Here's maybe a chance. Gagnon plays it in front. Oh, Cloutier! What a save on Newcomb. He's trying to find with his team, trying to find that scoring touch. And a good save there by Cloutier.
And they've had chances. Cloutier has just made some really big saves as well for Boston College.
Fitzgerald's pass got deflected to the corner. Does feel like with Cloutier, Chevette was actually about to go to the bench there for New Hampshire. He has to stay in for the moment. Now played around. Chevette comes to the bench now. Empty net for New Hampshire with 3:26 to go, down by 2. Big hit along the wall. Gasso reaching for it for BC. Flutters it forward, just out of the reach of Hagens.